Let me tell you something that's probably going to sting a little. If your team walks all over you, it's not because they're bad people. It's because you trained them to. Yep, I said it. And look, I get it. Everyone wants to be the nice boss. Friendly, approachable, zero conflict, the human equivalent to a warm cup of cocoa. But here's a real punchline. Employees don't need cocoa, they need clarity. And when you choose nice over honest, comfortable over clear, and avoiding conflict over leadership, your team feels it, and not in a good way. You know the dynamic. You've lived it. You keep lowering the bar so you don't hurt someone's feelings. You tolerate behavior that drives you insane just to keep the peace. You don't correct the person who keeps missing deadlines because they are trying. You avoid the tough conversations with that one employee who's single handedly raising your blood pressure. And then, shocker, you're exhausted, frustrated, and wondering why your team won't step up. Here's why: your culture becomes whatever you tolerate, not what you intend, not what you wrote in a handbook, and not what you preach at your meetings. It is what you tolerate. And when you try to be the nice boss, you accidentally create a free will for all where everyone is guessing and nobody is aligned. And you're constantly playing workplace whack a mole at 6 p.m. instead of being home and eating dinner like a normal human being. I learned this lesson when I was on the receiving end of a nice boss. I had a manager once who was a genuinely kind, great guy. He would have helped you move a couch or picked you up from the airport. But as a leader, let's just say I basically managed myself. Every morning, I decided what I was supposed to work on. I set my own priorities. I built my own schedule. I completed products and projects and never actually got them reviewed by him, not one time. It was like running in an invisible department that I knew existed and no one else. And here's the part that really got me: I never knew if I was doing the right things. I never knew if the work that I was doing actually moved the needle at the company. I never knew if I was succeeding or if I was just staying busy. That kind of silence doesn't feel freezing. It feels like wandering around in the woods with a flashlight running on 3% battery. I wasn't unmotivated. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't even directionless because my boss was so nice that he didn't correct, redirect, or challenge me. And that's when it clicked. Being the nice boss doesn't help people, it abandons them. Not on purpose, but it's what you get. And honestly, so much of this chaos starts earlier than we think. Most leaders don't realize that the nice boss trap usually begins during onboarding. If you set fuzzy expectations from the beginning, you'll be fighting battles for months. But stick with me, because later in this video, I'm going to point you to a resource that fixes this at the root so you don't have to keep babysitting adults. Here's the truth that nobody likes to admit: leaders become the nice boss because they're afraid. They're afraid of being disliked. They're afraid of looking mean. They're afraid of losing people in a job market where replacing talent feels like trying to drink a sip of water from the fire hose. So instead of leading, you tiptoe. Instead of setting standards, you make suggestions. Instead of holding the line, you move it. But here's the psychology behind it: when you avoid hard conversations, your team stops trusting you. Not because you're mean, but because you're inconsistent. People can handle structure, people can handle accountability. What they can't handle is guessing every day what version of you they're going to get. When your leadership is unpredictable, the culture becomes predictable. And unpredictable cultures eat morale for breakfast. So let's talk about some solutions, the real ones, not the motivational garbage. Step one, stop confusing kind with soft. You can be compassionate and still be direct. Your employees aren't made of tissue paper. Step two, define the standard. Say it out loud, say it clearly, not do your best, not keep me posted. Try this instead. This is due Friday at 3 o'clock. Here's what finished looks like. Here's how we'll measure it. Boom, no confusion. Step three then is follow through 100% of the time. If it matters, enforce it. If it doesn't matter, stop pretending like it does. The fourth thing is give feedback before it becomes an emergency. Most leaders wait until they're frustrated and then they explode out of that frustration. You need to catch it early, keep it simple, and move on. Step five then is model what you expect. If you're late, sloppy, or inconsistent, your team will mirror that. Leadership is contagious, good or bad. So when you do these things consistently, your team feels safer. Yes, they feel safer. Clear expectations reduce anxiety. Accountability creates stability. Structure creates trust. You're not being mean. You're simply being the adult in the room. And here's where onboarding comes back into the picture. Most of the behavior problems that you're dealing with right now, they aren't employee issues. They're leadership clarity issues that showed up on day one and never got corrected. If you want a team that performs, engages, and actually respects the standards, you really have to build that from the start. And this is exactly why I created Onboarding Essentials. It's the foundation you should have had years ago, and it's the one that gives you crystal clear expectations. It gives you a structured path for your new hires with built in accountability. It helps with higher retention, better engagement from your employees, and it helps you align compensation with the performance of your team. And honestly, a whole lot less stress. It's 4 PDFs that are packed with the exact templates, guides, and tools I wish every company used. And it turns onboarding from winging it into a repeatable system that actually works. If you're tired of playing the nice boss just to keep the wheels from falling off, this system is your exit ramp. So grab it, use it, and fix the root instead of the symptoms. And in the next video, we're going to go even deeper. The title of that video is Your Team Isn't the Problem, You Are. If today made you think, that one is going to hit like a double espresso to the soul. If this hit home for you, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and throw a comment down there. Here's a question that I really want you to answer for me. What's one expectation you've been avoiding because you didn't want to seem mean? Put your comment below and let's talk about it.